Hey guys, it's Reina. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today's video is going to be a 1-month update living in Florida, or what to expect when moving to Florida. I would grab a snack or a drink and get comfy because this is going to be a long kind of sit down, chatty with me type of video. So I got my coffee with me. And I also have my notes with me because I wanted to be organized and not get lost while I'm talking, so I will be referring to this every now and then. Okay, so before I begin, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background on me so that it makes a little more sense. So my name is Reina, I'm 24 years old and I'm married. I'm from Illinois. I grew up in a very small town in central Illinois and I lived there my whole life. So I've never been exposed to anything else other than my town unless I went to like vacation or something. But yeah, I have lived in the same town like all my life, so that's a little bit of background on where I lived before. All of my immediate family members lived in my town or surrounding my town, so I've always had family with me. And I've also had like the friends that also lived in that town grow up with me and be friends with me and stuff like that. So I've known a lot of the same people for most of my life as well. So living in a small town, there's not really much to do. There's not really much going on. So we had like 6 fast food restaurants. We had Walmart. We had a couple churches. And that was about it, really. If you wanted to do anything else, you had to drive 15-20 minutes south where all like the restaurants and the shops and all that stuff was. So in terms of how I'm feeling, I would say overall I am very happy. I can definitely see a change in my mood since I've been here, and I am still a little bit nervous because, like I said, I've never been in another environment, especially one like this. So I'm still a little bit nervous and anxious, but overall I'm very happy. So that's good. I've also been a little bit stressed. I'm just gonna be real with you guys. I'm gonna get into a lot more detail about why I'm stressed, but yeah, I just thought I would also say that because even though I am overall very happy and I know everything will work out, I still get a little stressed out about some of the things that have been happening recently. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about the changes and comparisons that I've noticed since I've been here for a month. The biggest one would probably have to be the weather. It is November 15th and it's 67 degrees, I think, when I checked. So still pretty warm, and if I was still in Illinois, it would probably be like 30. So this is one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to move, because I myself personally get cold easily, so I wanted to be in a climate where it was pretty much warm all year round, and obviously Florida is. So living in Illinois, I just always dreaded winter. Like I would just get so cold, and I hated having to like defrost my car in the morning and like having to put on a big ass coat or whatever. So yeah, the weather is one of the biggest changes, but I have already adapted to it and I'm loving it, of course. Another big reason why we wanted to move here was to be closer to my in-laws. I have a really good relationship with them, and obviously my husband wants to be closer to his parents and his sister and all that stuff, so we figured that we would move here eventually. We also wanted to be very involved in our niece's life. She is 7 months now, so my husband always said he never really had like his aunts and uncles around like that growing up, so he wanted to make sure that we were around for our niece, so that was also a huge factor into moving here. The driving here is definitely different. I mean, it probably is different everywhere, but for my experience, I've noticed it really early on because I came from a small town, so of course there's not much traffic and the lights don't nearly take as long, and yeah. Like, I've just noticed that the lights definitely take a lot longer than what I'm used to. Like, I'll be sitting at the red light and like 5 minutes have passed and I probably could have eaten a whole meal at the red light, honestly. And also, people just either don't care or don't pay attention. I don't know if it's the Floridians or the tourists that are here, but yeah, a lot of the people will not go right away when the light turns green, I've also noticed. It's a little annoying, but I mean. And then a lot of people will just cut you off. Whether it's just randomly or last minute, whatever, they will cut you off. I haven't been driving that much, but I've been trying to familiarize myself with the area that I live in especially, but also all of the places that I would be going. So I-4, if you're familiar with that interstate, it's known as the deadliest interstate in Florida, but I have driven on it a couple times now and it does still make me anxious, but I thought the past 2 times that I went on it, it was fine. Nothing was too crazy. So I'm trying to adapt, but it's definitely nerve-wracking when you know that it's like a really dangerous interstate. Piggybacking off of driving, the commute, that is also a little bit different for me. The commute time is a lot longer than what I'm used to. Back in my old hometown, you would drive for like 10 minutes and you'd be at your destination. Like, if you wanted to go to Walmart, it would take like between 7 to 10 minutes with traffic. But here, it's like 20 to 30, maybe even 40, depending on where you're going, to get to your destination because of the traffic and also where it's at. Like, the area that I live in, there is a Target 2 miles down the road, but this one day the traffic was really bad, so it took me almost 30 minutes to get there. So it's very different to what I'm used to. Shopping. So grocery shopping, shopping for clothes or home decor or whatever you're shopping for is also a little bit different. I don't know if it's because Christmas is around the corner. It might be, but I've noticed that it's a little bit more, not a little bit more, a lot more busier than what I'm used to as well. When I would go to Walmart and shop, or even like to the mall. What was I saying? Oh yeah, whenever I would go grocery shopping at Walmart or to the mall or whatever, there wouldn't be a lot of people there really. I mean, it would get busy sometimes depending on what day of the week it is or like what time of day. But every time I've gone grocery shopping or just to like Home Goods or Target or Ross or wherever I've been so far, I just feel like it's always busy no matter what day it is, no matter what time it is. There's just people everywhere. So I've noticed that. I don't know if it's because it is almost Christmas or if this is just how it is all the time. But yeah. Another change that I have to get used to myself are services. So I had lash extensions and I had a salon that I went to like every 12 weeks to get a trim or whatever I wanted done to my hair. I wear contacts, so I usually go to the eye doctor every year to get my eyes checked and get new contacts. And I also had a family doctor that I would visit every year just to check up on my health. So all of these things I obviously have to replace or find a new place to go to. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find a new doctor, a new optometrist, a new lash person, new salon, new nail salon, like all of those things. It makes me seem kind of high maintenance, but I don't know. I just love having lash extensions. I don't even like have them anymore because it's been so long since I was able to get a fill. I got my last fill like right before my wedding in September. So it's definitely been a while and I'm due for another fill, but obviously I have to wait till the money comes in. But yeah, I have to find all of those new things, so. Okay, now I'm gonna get into the job situation. So before we officially made the move, my husband had a job. He didn't have it like that. He obviously still had to like interview for it and all that stuff, but he did have that like ready to go. Like he was gonna do all that stuff when we got here. I, on the other hand, did not have a job lined up, nor did I have like any interviews ready to go or whatever. I have applied. Rex! I did apply to a few jobs like a month or two before we were gonna move, so like in September, but I didn't really have any luck with those just because it's hard to get a job in a different state. So obviously I was applying while I was still living in Illinois, but was gonna move to Florida, but a lot of places won't hire you if you don't live in that state, whatever. So I just was gonna wait till I got here to apply to some jobs and stuff. So when we did get down here, my husband had his first interview like 4 days after we got here, and then he had to wait like a week until his on-the-job interview, which was a little bit different than his first interview. So he had the on-the-job interview, and then another week went by, and then he finally had his first like orientation day where he got an Uber to go to Tampa because he had to pick up a work truck and do paperwork and do a test and sign all the papers and whatever. So he did that. And then the following, this was on a Friday, so the following Monday, he had his first official day for training. So his job situation was a very slow process, but he finally started working, so that's good. Me, on the other hand, I haven't had the best of luck, which is why I've been kind of stressed and depressed. But I know that everything will work out in the end. I just have to give it a little more time. But yeah, I've applied to like 4 or 5 jobs and they either don't select me or they don't get back to me. So it's just a little bit frustrating because I know everyone is hiring, but they don't want to actually hire you, or they take forever to get back to you. I actually almost had a job. I got a call back like the day after I had applied to this one job, and they wanted to schedule, or they wanted to give me some more insight and more info on the position through Zoom the next day, and then set up an initial interview. But I had missed the call by like 4 minutes, and I called them back and they didn't answer. So this was on a Friday as well, so I figured, okay, maybe they're done for the day, I'll just try again tomorrow. So I waited for Saturday to roll around, and then I called them back and they didn't answer again. So I was like, okay, maybe they're not open on the weekends. So the weekend goes by, I wait for the next Monday to come, and that next Monday comes. I called them again and they didn't answer again. So I was just really confused as to why they weren't getting back to me, because the hiring manager, I think, is who it was that was trying to get a hold of me the first time. She had also texted me saying that, sorry I missed your call, I know things get busy and blah blah blah, if you could get back to me when you're available. So I texted her, and I also emailed them back saying, oh yeah, I tried to return the call, but nobody answered, if you could please get back to me, like all that stuff that you're supposed to do to follow up. And I just never heard from them again. So I don't know what happened with that. I was kind of bummed about it because I was like, oh, maybe I'll finally get a job. But yeah. So I've been applying to just more jobs. Honestly, like anything. I didn't really want to go back to retail, but at this point, I just kind of need a job. So I am going to be keeping an eye out on my applications, but also maybe putting some more applications into other places. We shall see. But yeah, as of now, I'm not working. My husband's working, which is good, so we'll be okay until I get one. But yeah, I am not employed right now. Next is my school update. If you didn't know, I actually got accepted to UCF, University of Central Florida, for the spring semester. I'm actually majoring in advertising and public relations. So I do have my associate's degree in communications. So I decided to apply for UCF recently to finish my bachelor's degree. So I did get in, and I am going through the process of orientation and choosing my classes and all that stuff. So I do actually have orientation this Thursday and Friday. They are virtual, so it's going to be held on Zoom, which is a good and bad thing. It's a good thing because I don't have to drive to campus to attend, because it's actually pretty far from where I live. And yeah, and then it's kind of bad because I am an anxious person, so I don't want to have to like talk or anything like through Zoom or whatever, which most people will think that's easier, but I don't know. If I'm gonna be like talking or whatever, I feel more comfortable being there in person. But hopefully I don't have to do a lot of talking or whatever. Hopefully I just have to sit there and listen and whatever. But yeah, I do have orientation in a couple of days, and then I'll be starting in January. Okay, and then I have a little apartment update. So if you saw my last video, I gave a little bit of an update there, but I'm gonna go more into depth on this video. So basically, like the week after we had got here, we were able to go back to Illinois to grab the rest of our stuff, because when we first moved here, we couldn't take all of our stuff. We didn't want to rent a U-Haul because for long distance, it was gonna be almost $2,000. And we did have the money, but we just didn't want to use it on that. So sorry about the traffic. I live by a busy street. But yeah, we didn't want to rent a U-Haul because we just didn't want to spend the money on it. So we just took my husband's car for the time being and our dog. So we couldn't bring a whole bunch of stuff at the time. We just brought our necessities. But like the week after, we were able to go back to Illinois with my father-in-law's truck. He had a truck that we could borrow, but he ended up coming with us. So we took the truck back to Illinois, and we were gonna get all of our like furniture that we had back at our old place. So that was like our bed, our coffee table, our entryway table, my mirror from IKEA, the nightstands, all that stuff. So we were gonna get that stuff, right? And we were 2 hours away from my hometown, and we hit a deer. We were all okay, nobody was hurt, but it definitely damaged the truck to the point where we couldn't use it anymore. So we left it there. We had to leave the truck at his grandparents' house for the time being. We're in the process right now of seeing if it could get fixed or if it's just completely totaled, but I'm getting off track a little bit. So anyways, that happened. So we ended up having to take my car only, and I drive a Camaro, so of course the space is very limited. So I also had to choose what I wanted to bring and what I could bring. that would fit in my car at the time. So I was able to bring a little bit more stuff. I brought like more kitchenware, more clothes, my lounge fly bags. I know, priorities, right? But yeah, I was able to grab a few more things. Obviously couldn't bring any type of furniture. So we are still at the point where we don't have a lot of stuff. We're gonna be getting stuff soon because honestly, we were gonna buy a lot of our stuff new anyway. We were just waiting to get some more money because I didn't want to spend a lot of our savings. We've already spent a lot of our savings anyway just to get by since we've been here. But we do want to get our bed, the mirror. Those are like the priorities. If I couldn't bring everything, there would be stuff that I could just either sell or leave there until we could get it later. But honestly, we might as well just grab all of it when we can because we don't want to have to make so many trips back to Illinois. So yeah, but yeah, his dad is actually going to be getting us a new TV as a housewarming gift, but it hasn't happened yet, so that also is in the works. And then we're going to be getting a new TV stand, a new rug, a new dresser. So once we get a little bit of income coming in, we're gonna get those things. But for now, we're just gonna make do with what we have. And the last thing I'm gonna be talking about is leisure. So like I mentioned before, living in a small town, there wasn't much to do. And it would make me very depressed because I am someone who loves to go out and do like fun things or like go shopping, going out to eat, whatever. So I didn't have very many options with that. When we lived back in Illinois, we would go to like the same 4 places just by rotating every week or whatever. So there's definitely way more things to do out here, obviously. I'm an annual pass holder for Disney, so of course I can go whenever I want, and I've already been almost like at least once or twice every week or every other week since we've been here, and it's been amazing. There's a lot more restaurant options here. I've already tried a couple of new ones, which has been fun. I've been mini golfing with my husband and then my sister-in-law and her husband, and that was really fun. So I've just had a great time being able to explore new places, but there's just so much more to do besides that. Like, hopefully soon we can go to the beach for like a weekend getaway or something, or even like go on a cool nature hike, or I don't know, there's just like a whole lot to do around here. There's like more shops to shop at. So I am just very excited to have a lot more to do in my free time. There's also more options in terms of like shopping. Back when I lived in Illinois, I would always grocery shop at the same store. I would always go to the same clothing stores, but here there's so many options. Like, I could still go to Walmart if I want to, but there's also Publix, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. Like, I never had any of those close by to where I could go shop there, but now I have all these options. So I'm also very excited about that. Okay, so I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover in this 1 month update. I'm gonna be posting a lot more now that I live here. Yeah, so I still need to plan out some videos, but I definitely want to do more Disney vlogs, obviously. I want to do like what I eat in a day or what I eat in a week. I'm gonna be doing an apartment tour once that is fully furnished and it's at a point where I think it'll be good enough to show. Hopefully that won't take too long, but I will do that eventually. So yeah, there's just gonna be a lot more content coming from me. I'm super excited to be giving that to you guys, so just stay tuned and subscribe if you're not already, and like this video, and I will just see you guys in the next video. Bye.